Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have an update that I think is really worth your time to listen to, and that's Kaitlyn Bristowe talking about fighting the negative energies and rising her vibrational energy. What does this mean? And to a lot of people, they write this off, but it's actually something I've lived by for a very, very long time, that being trying to live at your highest version of self. Love. Love is the highest version of energy you can have. And due to the law of attraction, it actually attracts more love to you. And you might say, Dave, Kaitlyn's got a chaotic life. She's not attracting high vibrancies, whatever. Well, let's listen to what she has to say as she tries to go on this journey. And I'm going to share some information with you that is free out there that I think could possibly, quite possibly, change your life. As I know it has changed mine. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. And also this afternoon, I'll have a podcast with so many updates this Friday afternoon, wrapping up all of your entertainment news in one place, Bachelor Rush Hour with Dave Neal. It is true what they say, like you are what you eat, and that's not just what you physically consume, but it's what you consume on an emotional level. It's, are you addicted to your cell phone? Do you set boundaries for when to let your energy go down because it's sapped by bad news, by fearful media, by constant fighting? I mean, these are issues we have to address. And I know with my coverage over the Kaitlyn case, I've had to look at my own mental health and say, I'm no good to others if I'm just bitter. I have become so bitter in so many different ways. I've lost some friends over it where I go, why haven't you defended me? Why haven't you helped me? I've been very needy and very low energy in some ways because it's triggered a lot of my own fears that I'm being ostracized and people aren't helping me out and all of these, like I said, very low energy things. But, you know, it's important to evaluate and know when you do have a low energy moment and just try to recalibrate and rise those forces. I mean, we all have the doldrums. We all have the depressive times. We all have those moments where we can't get out of bed and we're looking at TikToks and we just feel like we have nothing to give this world. And it is in those times that we have to find the urge to get ourselves up and just begin taking steps in the right direction. Kaitlyn Bristowe is doing just that. Let's play what she says here and then I'll discuss it a little more in depth.
Everybody, I'd like everyone to know that I am on a mission. A mission. I'm on a mission to maybe bring you along with me of what in life is high vibration and what's low vibration and how we're going to stay away from the frickin' low vibes. I woke up this morning and I didn't look at my phone and I said a little prayer with my dogs, and I turned on the song by Nappy Roots. It's gonna be it. No, we're gonna have a good day. And I danced, and that's how I started my day. That is some high vibrational shit. Reading absolute crocs of shit about myself on the internet, low vibes. Fighting it back, low vibes. I wanna live. What is in this fucking cup?
Probably Spade and Sparrow, right? So look, we're all guilty of it. I fight with people online. I stoop down to some people's energies, but I do think most of our audience does exist in a very high vibe place. I mean, that's what we really aim for, right? Is to show our audience the best life, making your dreams come true, really shooting for the stars, leap in the net will appear, all these amazing things. Easier said than done. It's a practice. So when we talk about vibrations, good vibrations, it's a real feeling. It is something that exists in the metaphysical world, in the ether. But it is there. You know when somebody walks into the room smiling that they have something to give. We always say this in the dating world. You better walk into that bar smiling. You might have your wife looking at you from across the bar you'd never met before, and she goes, who's that guy flashing that nice smile? I want to have whatever he's having. I want to be a part of that world. And so it's all about just having that good energy. It's like taking batting practice before the game. You need to amp yourself up. And a lot of people do that with meditation, the Om meditation and the Ah meditation. And I don't want to get into the specifics of it because I'm not an expert, but in the Ah meditation, that's the creative meditation. That's the frequency that creates. Ah. And that's you've seen throughout culture. God, Allah, Krishna, Buddha. It's all the same. Ah. Ever get into a hot tub? How does it feel? Ah, it's a good feeling. Om is more of a feeling of gratitude. It's the frequency that says, thank you for everything that this world has provided me. Thank you for this home and this family and this beautiful wife and baby and all this miraculous abundance that is coming to my life. It's important to feel those. With that said, the phones, amongst other things, pipeline us into a possible bad situation where haters can exist, people on different vibrations. We let into our life, like I've said in past videos, as some weird self-sabotaging Trojan horse. Oh, come in here, nice horse, come in here. And then what comes out of the horse? Some little angry, you're not good, you're an imposter, you don't deserve what you have, and all those things. That doesn't do good for anybody. And I've said this before, no amount of sickness can make somebody else healthy. No amount of poverty can make somebody else rich. And the same goes with our energy. It's all law of attraction. So what you put out is what you get back. And battling these negative energies is very, very hard to do. What is vibrational energy? You are a living energy field. Your body is composed of energy-producing particles, each of which is in constant motion. So like everything and everyone else in the universe, you are vibrating and creating energy. And by the way, I truly mean this. I think that's why my podcast has been so successful, because we're trying to bring some good news. We're trying to get you to work, getting out of your car, feeling those good vibes. So I do appreciate when someone said, hey, Dave, it's getting a little depressing over here, even though I might disagree. It's all about, like, I want to take you where you are and bring you up one peg on that ladder. That's what you want to do with stand-up comedy, or if you're a musician. You want to get your audience and you want to bring them up. With stand-up, you do it through laughter, which creates a lot of dopamine. It's a feel-good drug. It's a hormone. It's something that really makes us feel like life is worth living. The field of vibrational medicine, sometimes called energy medicine, seeks to use the vibrational energy generated by and around your body to optimize your health. To many people, the concept of energy fields in the body may sound more spiritual than medicinal. More research must be done to understand how electrical and magnetic energy in the body stimulate chemical processes. But there's growing evidence that these energies can be used to influence your health outcomes. Heartbeats, breathing rates, and circadian rhythms are examples of physiological rhythms we can see, feel, and measure. There are much smaller vibrations happening in your body too. Inside each one of your cells, molecules vibrate at characteristic rates. Using atomic force microscopes, researchers have detected vibrations on the nanoscale, much smaller than 1 to the 1,000th the diameter of a single human hair. These vibration generates electromagnetic energy waves. Researchers have found that vibrations in the electromagnetic energy associated with them cause changes in your cells, which can then affect how your body functions. We've all met, it's almost easier to see the negativity we've seen out there. We've all got those people we call energy vampires. Oh, I just can't get into this because of that. And look, I understand that energy. I've been there. It will not help you out. You need to fight that energy. You need to be appreciative for what you have. And that doesn't mean toxic optimism. That means just appreciate whatever small amount of love and positive vibrations you have and build out from there. It's easier to build out from within than to change from the outside. No amount of flat screen TVs and flashy cars are going to harness this amazing life force that is within us. And I don't mean to say that as some sort of preacher, like I've got it all figured out, but I have to constantly remember my healthy 15-year-old basset hound. Sure, does he shit all over the place because he's got bowel issues? Yes, but in other words, he is healthy, and we've been so happy that he's lasted as long as we have this furball that I love who sits right next to me and farts sometimes, and it makes my eyes water, but we love him regardless. My wife, happily and healthily pregnant with our firstborn son. All of my family that I see during holidays, and we put our differences aside to share our love. I'm so fortunate in so many ways to have all of that. I understand what the alternative to that could be, and I don't wish that despair on anybody. I truly don't. So what is the connection between thoughts, behaviors, and vibrations? Researchers have known for a long time that thoughts and behaviors affect the rhythms in your body. For example, anxious thoughts trigger the release of stress hormones that stimulate your heart rate to speed up or slow down. The sound vibrations of music likewise affect thoughts, emotions, and body systems. Vibrational energy, experts think our behaviors and thoughts can also alter much smaller rhythms. So what they're trying to say is, if you're anxious, you're actually putting the wall up to being able to receive. You can't receive your dreams, your wildest miracles you can even think about, if you're anxious about the fear of what might happen. I talk about this a lot when it comes to what's your plan B? What will you do if plan A fails? Don't think about that. Pursue plan A with all of your heart and joy. There won't be a plan B. There might be a side plan from plan A that you didn't know was possible that'll be equally as rewarding, but a plan B of safety actually is the opposite. It's not safety. Safety is going after your dreams and feeling that authentic love. So Wayne Dyer passed away a few years ago, but I don't know. I know some people just don't like the woo-woo of all of this, but don't be afraid about it. Regardless of your religion, whatever indoctrination you have, whatever good or bad experiences from the past, Wayne Dyer speaks about the power of intention. He has it in so many different books, but all of his courses are all available for free online. Here's Wayne Dyer saying the very important reason why raising your energy matters.
I was with one of my daughters as she completed a lengthy program in the wilderness to help her deal more effectively with some of her teenage dilemmas. The last thing the counselor at the wilderness camp said to her was, "Remember at all times that what you think and what you do affects other people." This is true even beyond the impact we have on our friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. I believe that we impact all of humanity. Thus, as you listen to this section, keep in mind that what you think and do affects all other people. In the book I mentioned earlier, Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins, he writes, quote, "In this interconnected universe, every improvement we make in our private world improves the world at large for everyone. We all float on the collective level of consciousness of mankind, so that any increment we add comes back to us. We all add to our common buoyancy by our efforts to benefit life. It is a scientific fact that what is good for you is good for me," unquote. Dr. Hawkins has backed up his remarks and conclusions with 29 years of hard research, which I invite you to examine if you're so inclined. I'll briefly summarize some of these conclusions and how they relate to the impact you have on others when you're connected to intention. In essence, every single person, as well as large groups of people, can be calibrated for their energy levels. Generally speaking, low-energy people cannot distinguish truth from a falsehood. They can be told how to think, who to hate, who to kill, and they can be herded into a groupthink mentality based on such trivial details as what side of the river they were born on, what their parents and their grandparents believed, the shape of their eyes, and hundreds of other factors having to do with appearance and total identification with their material world. Hawkins tells us that approximately 87% of humanity calibrates at a collective energy level that weakens them. The higher up the ladder of frequency vibration, the fewer people there are in those high levels.
And the conversation goes on and on. So you can imagine that energy levels, and everyone can interpret the aura or charisma of people on different ways. But the more you start looking at folks by the energy levels they have, the more you can realize maybe who to avoid if you can, and who to aspire to become. Now, that doesn't mean be some slick salesman, because sometimes they have the lowest of energy. What it means is search for that selflessness, search for that ability to bond with others, to transcend whatever fears that exist in this world, and just lead with love. I know that's hard to say in a time where there's a lot of pain out there, a lot of poverty, a lot of issues with rising healthcare costs, and everyone's got a hero's journey in their own life they're trying to overcome. The conversation really isn't about Kaitlyn. She's just aware that she has an ability, like a lot of people do, especially empathetic people, to dabble into the lower energy, to try to convince people that they're wrong about it, to try to correct the thoughts online and this and that. I get guilty of the same thing. And what we have to continue to remember is A, what someone else thinks of me is none of my business, but B, there's a greater amount of good out there that people want to rise up towards. So if I'm sinking myself down to the level that's unbecoming, there's an audience I'm broadcasting that to, which will also sink them down. So the low energy kind of robs you of your joy, and the high energy, if we can pursue that on a daily basis, will encourage us to open up new opportunities with life, with work. That's why, a lot of times it's, when someone like meets a celebrity, they treat them as some crazy ideal person. And the celebrity's like, "Oh, get away from me," because it's a different energy level. But if you treat someone as a human with respect and sort of just on basic terms, I think a lot of celebrities crave that because there's so many people that don't treat them that way. I respect and love everyone who treats me as someone who's trying his best. And whenever I talk about, try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt because everyone's trying their best, that's a high energy way of thinking. A low energy way of thinking, like a lot of people do on Reddit, is, gotcha, you did this, so you're bad. You're not on my side, so you're on the others. And it's exactly what Wayne Dyer was talking about, these faux boundaries we set in life. So if you do catch yourself being anxious or stressed out, lower that heart rate by taking deep breaths and You know, I have a mantra I like. I am enough. I have enough. I want to share it. And that's what I just did with you.